Okay, well, here I am in Jemez Pueblo, and this is the little tourist area where they have these little lunch stands where they make Indian fry bread and Indian tacos. And I just stopped here to take a couple of photos on what may very well be my last ride up here on the Ducati, since I have somebody who wants to buy it. And I'm just kind of doing a farewell ride and contemplating if I really want to go through with the sale. But it's a nice clear day here in February, and it's the warmest day of the year. Look how blue the skies are. Now's when the fun begins, buddy. Wow, what a clear day. I mean, this is just great. Great day for the last ride. I really don't want to sell it, but it's getting harder and harder to justify keeping it, because right now I'm paying monthly storage fees and got to keep it insured, otherwise you lose your registration. And I mean, I just don't ride it as much. I mean, this is the first time I rode it since November, and last year I rode it 3 or 4 times. I mean, it's just getting ridiculous. I think I only really need 2 bikes. A road bike and a dirt bike. I don't know which combination. I really like the I forget what it's called. It's the Beta 300, but it's the bike that's lower. It's more of like in between an enduro and a trials bike. It's got the same motor as the 300RR, which is a race bike, 2-stroke, but it's detuned. It's an inch lower, like I said, softer suspension. I think that's probably the bike I should have. That, and maybe keep the V-Strom or some other adventure bike, or even the KLR. So I'm just going through some turmoil. Would you just look at that thing? Never get tired of coming up here. I've got the Dunlop Q3 tires, and they're not lasting very long. They're dual compound, harder in the middle. They're more like a medium in the middle, soft on the outside. And I always ran a sport touring tire, like a Rain Smart, and those would last pretty good. Definitely longer than these Q3s. This is probably the first time I ran a true sport tire. Man, just the contrast between the blue sky and the red and brown is just unbelievable. And if it was summer, there would be more green on these cottonwoods. There's actually no green on the cottonwoods right now, but it's the dead of winter. But I think we're heading for spring. I don't think we're getting any more snowstorms. I need to do a little less talking and a little more riding. I'll be honest with you, when I rode my V-Strom to the storage to get this bike, I really wanted to stay on the V-Strom. I mean, this bike is still fun, and it's you know, that V-twin, it's actually an L-twin, 90-degree angle, L-twin motor. It's a lot more of a visceral experience than the V-Strom, but the riding position on my V-Strom is so much more comfortable, especially since I got highway pegs and the tall windshield. I just don't like going on long rides on the Ducati. You know, when I lived in LA, I lived in North LA County, Santa Clarita, and I had 3 or 4 awesome canyon roads within 10 minutes of my apartment. And that was definitely a good place to have a Ducati, because I didn't have to ride very long to be in the twisties. I just ride them for a couple hours and come back, and you know, I got it out of my system. But here I got to spend at least 45 minutes, maybe not that long, maybe right at 45 minutes before I even get to the twisties. So that's an hour and a half of just straight highway, and it's a pain in the ass. I just don't like it anymore. I mean, there are definitely more uncomfortable, extreme, or more aggressive riding positions for a sport bike than this one. But I gotta be honest, I'm not really much of a sport bike guy anymore. I'm more of an adventure and enduro guy. Like last night I was looking at maps, and my eyes were drawn to the real backcountry stuff, not the paved stuff. What the hell is this? It sure looks like a cop, doesn't it? You asshole. Looked like a state trooper. That's exactly the color combination of white top and black body.